It's the Bat, the Cat, and the Diamond. Here's your look at the new Diamond Select Batman Returns, Batman and Catwoman Vinimates. Batman returns, and so do the Vinimates. Diamond Select are proud to present the Batman and Catwoman from the 1992 smash sequel, Batman Returns. Like if I could, to send out a big thank you to the folks over at Diamond Select who are nice enough to provide these samples my way. If you are looking to pick up these ones for yourself, you should start now seeing them circulate, cycling their way through to your various comic book stores. Let's get some dimensions out of the way. Batman, first and foremost, stands 4.6 inches in height. On average, these Vinimates are about the same height to one another. They may change a slight bit, a hair bit, but they stay roughly about the same height. Batman stands 4.6 inches, and in centimeters that works out to be 11.6 centimeters tall. Let's go and do the exact same thing for Catwoman. I'm going to put that right to the very top of what looks to be right there. That's the tip of her cat ears. I'm going to stop it right there. There we go. According to the readout, once again, you're looking at the Vinimate now of Catwoman, standing 4.1 inches in height. And in centimeters, that works out to be 10.4 centimeters tall. Normally, Vinimates don't come with accessories, and the Batman from Batman Returns and Catwoman are no exception. Technically, you could use the argument that Catwoman does come included with her whip, but we'll have a look at that in a second. The whip's not so much removable, it's sort of part of the sculpt, so would you really consider that an accessory? Weigh in down below. Let's first have a look at Batman in his Batman Returns attire. Not really too much different from his original Batman costume, other than the fact that his abdomen muscles were very much more geometric shapes than actual rounded curves. Definitely do read a Michael Keaton expression here, certainly the face printing. I mean, when you look at it, I mean, there's really a very cylinder style of head. Nose certainly here is present. It'd not normally be the case, but of course with Batman they decided to put the pointed nose section of his cowl, and it's looking really good. I must admit, that does look a fair bit like Michael Keaton. It's remarkable what they can actually pull off based on the fact that they can't really put too many features on these Vinimates. The Vinimates essentially are mini-mates that have just been increased in size and have not been afforded any articulation. Like, these guys will not be able to rotate and turn or anything like that. If you are curious, in case Batman did have arms underneath his cape, the answer to that question is no. You can see on both sides, he's sporting no arms. He is without limbs. The whole point of this Vinimate is the fact that he's kind of got this brooding stance to him with the cape draped over his torso, and therefore, obviously, you're not going to need arms as part of the equation either. He's got some nice raised, elevated details done to his legs, while the rest of his torso chest is remaining pretty much smooth and untouched by additional raised, elevated sculpts. He's also got his trademark Batman bat belt there, the utility belt, of course, and a variation to the original Batman logo, slightly more streamlined for Batman Returns. Like I said, these guys don't have any articulation to speak of. Back in the day, they may have had head articulation. I seem to remember some of the old Vinimates having head articulation, which seems unfortunately to be left at the wayside. They've just completely dismissed them altogether. Overall, though, like I said, really nice detailing done to Batman. Even like his cape is really nicely tailored with some seam lines done in twos, actually. You can see there's two lines of each panel line running through his cape. A really nice looking Batman, I have to admit. Moving on to Catwoman, which I personally feel is the star of this show. Sort of as Michelle Pfeiffer steals the show, I feel, in Batman Returns, I feel like the Vinimates of Catwoman sort of steals the spotlight from Batman in this two-pack. She really does have a neat look to her. Certainly, I mean, with Catwoman changing her look slightly in the film as her costume gets badly damaged, the possibility, perhaps, of getting ourselves another Vinimate with, of course, Selena Kyle's hair all sort of sticking out from the side is certainly a possibility I would love to see them entertain. As I mentioned, she does have her whip, but it's not removable. Not only is it clamped in place on the one arm, but if you spin the figure around, it's not going anywhere on the back side either. This could have been certainly a place where they could have cheated on some of the sculpting. Being, again, this is based on a larger scaled-up version of a Minimate, they could have quite easily just left all this raised sculpting off and simply just put in the stitch marks. But no, they actually have raised some elevated sections of Catwoman's costume, and it looks really quite good, especially right to the fact that she does have the laced-up section on the back of her bodice. Some nice stitching done on the back of her legs there as well. She's sort of in a cat-like, dare I say, cat-like pose where she's sort of being playful with her whip. Perhaps she's about to snap off the heads of the mannequins at Shrek's department store. I don't really know. This one doesn't have, again, any head articulation. The head is permanently posed in sort of an angled off to the side, but still kind of looking at your face. I mean, it definitely does look like Michelle Pfeiffer. Cartoonier, yes. Minus a nose, yes. But still a pretty looking Catwoman. One of my all-time favorite Catwomen was Michelle Pfeiffer from the classic 1992 Batman film. It happened so much to also mark my favorite Batman film ever, so the fact that we're actually getting ourselves Vinimates of both the characters quite rather excites me. As I said, she doesn't have any arm articulation, no head articulation, and most definitely no leg articulation. She is pretty much a staction piece. But both the pieces, as I pick up both of them and hold them in hand, both of them are exquisite representations of the characters from the Batman Returns film. Love it or hate it, I personally love the film myself. Based on how well they managed to do both Batman and Catwoman, I'd love to see them spin off and maybe continue the trend of doing Batman Returns by maybe giving us a Max Schreck and most definitely giving us a Danny DeVito Penguin to go along with the Bats and the Cat. I've always been a big fan of Minimates, and I've always been a big fan of the 1992 Batman Returns. Still to this day, I think even to this day, I would easily say Batman Returns is my all-time favorite Batman film. And I know that's coming from a long list of successful and well-done Batman movies. I think I would still give the award to Batman Returns to be my all-time favorite. And there's, of course, things that go along with that. I like the dark nature of Batman Returns. I like, of course, Michael Keaton coming back and Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman. Meow. So apparently, the happy marriage of having the two come together makes perfect sense. Diamond Select, of course, felt that, because we're now getting Batman Returns Vinimates of both Batman and Catwoman. And while I do admit Batman does look pretty cool by having his cape completely draped down over his non-existent arms, I must say the cat's meow, and part of my pun for saying that is the Catwoman. I think she is the better of the two. I'm biased, perhaps, the fact that I had such a crush on Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman, and boy oh boy does she ever look quite good as a Vinimate. Good news, though, is if you guys are interested in picking up these ones for yourself, they should be available right now at your local comic book stores. A big thank you to the folks over at Diamond Select who were nice enough to provide these sample pieces. Hopefully this isn't the end of Batman's movie journey into the realm of Vinimates. I'd love to see future Batman properties. Maybe we might even get the original Batman with a Jack Nicholson Joker. That might be interesting as well. As a side note, and this has nothing really to do with Batman Returns, and it has everything to do with Vinimates. I don't really know what their properties and licenses are available, but boy, gosh darn it, I would certainly love to see the horror figures make their way into the realm of Vinimates. Could you imagine a Jason Voorhees and Freddy Krueger as Vinimates? I know, it's not really necessarily Batman Returns, but it's just the thought that passed through my brain, and I felt the need to regurgitate it in front of the camera. Not quite literally, but you know what I mean. Again, if you manage to pick up these ones for yourself, let me know down below in the comment section what you guys think of it, or based on this review and this review alone. If you are new to this channel, hey now, introduce yourself to the group. Don't worry, the members of the mob are generally quite kind. They'll welcome you in with full extended arms and a tall glass of lemonade. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below, turn on the bell notification, and keep your peepers peeled, because there's going to be a whole lot of future Diamond Select reviews coming soon to this channel. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.